Hey everybody, I've been working on updating my live streams, dude. So far this thing is awesome. So I did some updates to the chat, so it's gonna be popping up over the screen, so feel free to chime in on the chat. Dude, yeah, Kenny, this printer so far is by far my favorite resin printer now. Compared to a couple of Creality's other resin machines, it kind of just blows them out of the water, and the main reason I'm digging it so much is because of the easy raft removal. It's amazing. I actually have a little video I'm putting together for the review on this to just show you how easy it was to remove from the build plate the first time immediately with no issues. So really, really stoked on that. I'm going to go make a little adjustment to the chat window here because I would rather that it didn't show up under that button that says live. So there we go. So yeah, feel free to chime in on the live chat. I'll be hanging out talking all day. You see Diablo up here is super duper detailed. Really, really nice. You can see his muscles. You can see the little teeth on his face. So I'm really, really impressed with this so far. I'm not gonna lie. So we're just kind of hanging out at the moment. Nothing really particular going on. We're just watching the print, checking it out. Like I said, feel free to chime in on the chat. I got some interesting things going on with my chat box, and I think you guys might dig it. I've been working on my other channel, my gaming channel, and that's caused me to take a look at the streams, a lot of the streams in the chat. So I'm kind of stealing the way that they're doing things, and so far I like it. I just kind of want some input. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, yeah, now we're getting involved. Everybody, I mean, I'm here, I'll answer questions, we can do whatever you want. Like I said, I'm kind of hanging out, I'm doing a little bit of modeling on Fusion 360. If you guys are interested in seeing, I can definitely show you. In fact, let's see, studio mode. That's a little bit better. What's up, folks? Chime in on the chat. Hop in. You'll see a couple pop-ups from me here in just a second. I'm just testing some stuff out while we're printing to kind of make my streams a little bit cooler. So if you want to see your name pop up on the screen in this YouTube video, all you have to do is chat something in the live chat. So feel free to pop on over there and say whatever you want. Just don't be inappropriate, I guess. Hello, hello. If anybody has any questions about this printer, I would love to answer them. Just kind of here hanging out. I'm printing a piece for an electromagnet. I'm going to build it's this thing called the levitator that it's an Arduino powered electromagnet. So I'm printing some of the pieces, except I kind of designed my own because I wanted one to be original. for different parts instead of models. I guess I don't know what you mean. How do they print for different parts instead of models? I've got some parts on the screen that I've created myself. This is one of these electromagnet holders. This was made in Fusion 360, and it is pretty much flawless. There's a little bit of dry resin there from my curing machine that I haven't filed off yet, but yeah, pretty dang accurate. In fact, let's get Diablo in here. And if I can get my camera to focus, you can see the amazing detail. It is pretty incredible. The support system in here was really easy to remove right off the bat. On Diablo, it didn't leave too much of a mark. On this flat surface, it did leave a little bit, but that is easily sandable to remove. So. Welcome everybody. If you're just popping in to check out the print here, don't forget to chime in and hop over to the live chat. I'm testing out some new features with my OBS in the chat. So say something cool. Yeah. So you should see a pop up here. If you want to get in on that, go ahead and just say something. All you got to do is chat. Hit me up in the chat. I do answer questions. I like to talk, and I am not really shy. So feel free to ask me whatever you want. If you have questions about the printer especially, let's get a little bit better view. Now the camera's going to get a little shaky here for just a second, but I want to show you the screen on this thing. It's pretty incredible. If you take a look, you can see that it's showing two views. It's going to show the top view and the side view, and this is extremely accurate down to where the support is. So you're not just getting an outline of a figure here. The only disadvantage is it's not showing me what layer I'm on here, but it does say down here I'm on 64 of 580, so it does tell me what layer I'm on. It just doesn't show. This guy, let's see, I don't have the specs off the top of my head, but let's go find out. I know it's slightly, I think it's slightly smaller than the LD002R, so Halot 1 specs. Volume is 130 by 82 by 160, so pretty similar to the LD002R. Which is 120 by 65 by 165. So it's actually bigger in all of the dimensions, but smaller by 5 millimeters in the Z dimension. So you get 10 more in the X, almost 20 more in the Y. And the build plate on here is a little bit different too. You can't really see it because it's dunked in the water now, or in the tank, excuse me, that's not water. It's dunked in the resin, but as it comes up, you'll see that the ridges are a little bit different on the top that make it a little bit easier to scrape that resin off and get it where you want it to go when you're cleaning it before you remove your parts. So when you lift the plate up and tip it, and then you scrape the top side with your plastic scraper like you normally do to get all that excess resin off, it's really, really clean. So let's see. Let's go back up just a little bit here. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I wish I could hook my phone up right now and show you that video of the removal of the part, because it was super, super clean, and I was really, really pleased with both of these so far, how they've come out. But welcome, guys. Don't forget to chime in on the chat. If you're just starting watching now, you'll notice that the chat is popping up on the screen here. And that is exactly what we're going for. You can see I made a couple of adjustments to it, and it's pretty funky. I like it. So I hope you guys like it too. Feel free to ask me questions. Whatever you're up to, tell me about it. Tell me what you're printing. We are talking about the Creality Halot 1 today. I could zoom out right now and show you that I do have an LD002R and an LD002H here, as well as the Creality wash and cure machine. So in comparison to their other machines, I would definitely rate this machine as a buy. Now keep in mind, I am on my third print. I haven't had to change the FEP paper yet, so this is one of those things where I'm pretty impressed right out of the gate with not only the actual prints themselves, but the Halot series uses a separate slicer called Halot Box, which is very, very beautiful. It works really well. It's well designed. It's smooth. It's clean. There isn't a lot of excess junk in there, and it's one of those things that I'm really, really excited to get to use. What's up, man? I was hoping you'd pop by. What do you think of the chat? I think you're one of the few that gets the blue. You're flagging on a bridge today? Dude, don't get hit by a car. So, and the more text that pop up here, the further down it gets. As you can see, it will start moving them out of the way, and then they'll just start popping up at the bottom unless there's a whole bunch. So that's one of the new things I'm working on. Hey, Sergeant, did you notice your text pops up on the screen? And did you notice that yours is a different color than everybody else's? Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. I've been working on it with my gaming channel, so I figured I'd bring it over here since I thought I'd hop on and do a live print today. I know it's been a long time since I did this, so super duper excited. Good. Oh, hey, check this out. This guy will be in the review. This is the Diablo that I printed on this printer, and the detail is freaking epic, dude. There is, I don't think it'll focus on his face, but you can see down to his little fangs, his teeth, man. I have some great pictures of this. In the review, you'll see a nice clear view of the muscles. I mean, you can see his veins, dude. It's awesome. Very, very impressed with this printer so far. This is actually a white resin. It is an ABS-like resin, and I added some alcohol coloring to it to change the color. And actually, we can do it again because it does give a nice effect to the camera. You never know what you're going to get unless you just dump a solid one color in there. But this stuff starts fizzing and swirling around, and if you do different colors at different times, you can get a nice tie-dye effect to the print. This will at least make it interesting to look at. It didn't want to come off that one. And it doesn't interfere with the printing process at all, unless you have too much alcohol in there, and then you might get some issues with separation and things like that, but it would take quite a bit. I literally only put a couple drops in there. Everybody's text shows up. So, hello Akira, how's it going? It's an add-on to OBS where you basically just add you pop out your chat, and then you take the URL and run it through OBS, and then run some CSS over it, and it formats it so it looks like this instead of being just generic text or having a dark background. It does look really cool swirling around in there though, doesn't it? Oh, don't be jealous, Akira. It is a pretty sick printer, but they're not that expensive, man. Hey everybody, don't forget to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. Also, tips are always appreciated, but not necessary. If you want to see your name pop up on the screen, jump over to the live chat and type something in. Just try to keep it clean, because we don't need to be getting kicked off of YouTube for inappropriate comments now. I recently went through a hell of an ordeal with this channel. It actually got stolen, and the dude was streaming some cryptocurrency stuff that apparently got the whole account banned. And luckily, when they returned the account to me, they fixed it. not the hacker, the YouTube accounts recovery team did some really hard work and got things back, and I was able to put everything back in order yesterday. So everything's pretty well back how it should be, but that was literally my worst nightmares come true, man. I put so much time and effort into this, and I know I don't have the most highest production value on YouTube, and I know I always want things to be better. It doesn't matter how good a video comes out. I look at it and I'm like, man, I could have done better, you know. So I try to improve that. But yeah, it's a resin printer. This is MSLA. It is using an ABS-like resin right now. This is Anycubic. It was white until I added the dye. Well, I added the dye in the last print, but I added some more just now. That's why it's swirling around in color like that. So that's the nice thing, is I don't even buy colored fluid anymore, colored resin. I buy whatever resin I can that is in bulk and get clear and white. Something that I know that prints well, but then I can get the big bottles, and then a couple drops of this alcohol does wonders, especially if you're doing a clear resin or a translucent resin. Like 2 or 3 drops of this will tint it dramatically. It takes a lot more to get a solid color out of the white resin, but I mean, that's a lot more pigment to change. There's no pigment in the translucent, so it shows up immediately. I wish I was printing something a little more interesting at the moment. It's nothing too special. I'm printing a holder for an electromagnet, which I have here. It's basically just copper wound around a conductive piece of metal that is non-magnetic. And then I have a few magnets. We're going to try some levitation stuff that I had seen using Arduinos, except I have some ideas about how to make it different and try it out in some unique and interesting ways. So. As some of you may have noticed, for some reason my merch shelf is gone. It has been gone for a little while, and that is because of the removal from YouTube. It should be coming back in the next day or 2. Oh, you bought another mini, dude? Nice. Hey, Joseph Tusa? Prusa Tusa? Hey, thanks, man. I really, really appreciate that, TK. You know, I feel really good, actually, after this whole situation, because the YouTube recovery team, generally, even if you're in the YouTube partnership program, there's not much they can do to recover an account. Now, you have a lot of people on YouTube talking about, oh, use a VPN, and all of this. It turns out, if I had used a VPN, they would not have been able to get me back my account. I would have been totally screwed. The only reason they were able to recover my account for me is because they have a log of the IP that each video is posted from, and they pretty much all match the IP I emailed them from saying somebody stole my account, and that's pretty much my saving grace. But for the most part, the YouTube partnership guys, it's not their job really to get accounts back. If your account gets hacked, a lot of times they just tell you, hey, you're just gonna have to start over. Rare exceptions to that are if you have a ton of subscribers, generally over 100,000 or more, which I'm not really up to yet, so obviously. So for them to actually go and recover my channel in just a couple of days was really, really big for me. I've heard that the few people that had gotten it were going to be getting that it took up to a month to get their account recovered, and I had mine dealt with in 3 days, so I was immensely impressed. Although, I will say, it's not like I'm like handing out the password to my YouTube channel. Something weird happened where the dashboard told me to turn on 2-factor authentication, and it was already on. So when I clicked it to make sure my settings were right, there was obviously some sort of Trojan on my computer, some sort of phishing or something going on, because I then got a notification saying my password had changed, and I thought it was me that had done it. If I had caught that message and stopped it and denied it, this whole thing never would have happened. But because of the way that they engineered it to make me think that I was getting that message because of something I had done, I didn't even open the message and read it. So Lesson learned. Even if even if I think it's me, I will double check and make sure if I get one of those access requests. But I have also taken some extra precautions. Now nobody can log into any of my accounts unless they actually physically are holding my phone. So that is nice. It's pretty much jack-proof at this point. Yeah, VPNs are useless, man. Unless you want to watch like UK Netflix or something, or whatever they're watching on Netflix in Asia right now. Other than that, I mean, it ain't gonna do you no good. And to be honest, if you think a VPN is hiding your footprint, you're pretty sadly mistaken. In most cases, they totally log your information because they have to in order to operate federally, according to federal guidelines. They have to keep a document of who went where, basically. Otherwise, they're liable for things generated at IP addresses that they generate, and they don't want that. So, this thing does have a pretty good pop. You can't really hear it. Let's see here. Maybe you can hear it if I turn the music down. Let's see. When the layer ends. I know I hear it. It's not super loud, but it's not too bad either. It lets you know that it's popping, and when you hear that noise every time, you know that your model is still on the build case. So that's cool as well. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Just kind of hanging out. Like I said, feel free to chime in on the chat. I might switch up the view here in a few minutes, but right now I'm really digging these swirling colors. In fact, a little closer. I know that makes the image a little grainier, but not a bad visual. We'll roll like this for a second, and then we'll zoom back out. And maybe check out a couple other things. I do have that model up that I'm printing. Although I guess you can kind of see exactly what it is up in the corner of the screen there. So. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you stopping by to check out the stream. We are printing some parts for an electromagnetic levitation device right now. And we're just kind of watching the printer. This is a new printer to me. I've only done 2 prints on it so far. So far, though, I am really enjoying the experience. And I did like the LD series. The LD002R was really nice. The LD002H had some problems with leaving... Hey, see you later, Sergeant. Thanks, man. Had some problems with leaving artifacts on the corners of the screen. So I wasn't a big fan of that one, but this printer so far is flawless, and I have no complaints whatsoever. Also, if you jump in on the chat, your message is going to show up on the screen, and feel free to give yourself a shout out. Yeah, Sergeant, I'm off all day, so whenever you get off, hit me up. I do got to pick the kids up later, and I'll be watching them tonight, but I should have time, and if not, I'll find a way to make time, because I know it's been a long time. So that is my other channel, Technivorous Plays. I do some gaming. Lately, it's been mostly Diablo 2, although I did find this Jurassic Park game that I thought was kind of fun, and I've done some Crackdown 3 stuff too, but just getting into it. So if you're into gaming, pop over there. It's Technivorous Plays. Check it out and subscribe. Leave me a message knowing what games you'd like to see me play, and we'll certainly try them out. I'm always open to suggestions. While you're here, don't forget to smash that like button and leap onto the subscribe button as well. ring the notification bell. You'll get notifications every time we post a video. Now, I do live streams of actual prints where I do Q&As like this quite often. I haven't been doing them recently because in April I had a newborn son, and he's been taking up a lot of my time, as well as some other things that I've had going on, taking on a part-time job. My family owns a restaurant, and as you know right now, restaurants are having a hard time finding employees, so I figured I'd make some side hustle money and do that as well. Yeah, dude, definitely get Diablos. A lot of people are shit-talking Diablo 2 Resurrected. If that's the case and you don't like it, that's fine. But I'm a big fan. It's very nostalgic for me. I think the graphic updates are phenomenal. And I'm rocking a boson. So we're trying to do an ice boson. Never really did the Amazon when I was younger. Stuck with the Paladin, and I did a couple sorceresses. And I did the Barbarian for tanking with the dual wielding as well. But yeah, my wife actually just got me an Xbox One for my birthday. So I downloaded it on that. I think I'm going to get it on my PC too. But yeah, dude, definitely awesome. Hey, dude, what do you play? Do you PlayStation, Xbox? Do you game often? I guess I've never really asked you. I know your wife plays Diablo 2. I'm surprised she doesn't have Resurrected yet. Alright, that's cool and all, but I gotta fix this real quick. Xbox, nice. Dude, my gamer tag is Technivorous. Hit me up. Yeah, they had a deal with Diablo 2 where if you pre-ordered it on the Xbox, you get Diablo 3 for free. If you paid like an extra $10, I guess it wasn't free. But they, I just got the base game. I played Diablo 3. I wasn't that big of a fan. I played through it. I beat it. Didn't have for me the replay value that Diablo 2 had. If you're watching the video and you haven't chimed in on the chat yet, you're missing out. Pop over to the live chat and send me a message, ask me a question, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just say hello, and I'll respond. I mean, all right, man. See you later. All right, sounds good. Yeah, just shoot me a message on Xbox, dude. I'll accept it. Colors, man, those colors are beautiful, just mixing around in there. You can't really see it in the Diablo back here because of the lighting being so bright, so you can see the tank, but there are striations and variations in the color, minor variations in his color because of the way that that mixes. Oh, nice. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Well, we're coming up on a half hour. This print has 2.5 hours left to go, so we are going to just keep rolling with it. Yeah, I got some other stuff I got to do. I am still watching the screen. I'm hanging out in the chat. Feel free to hit me up. And I'm also looking for more Kira questions. If anybody already has a 3D printer, they have questions about Kira Slicer, feel free to chime in with those too. We can discuss them a little bit now, but I'd love to make you a dedicated video answering your question. I do a series called Kira Questions, and it is actually getting quite full. There's over 30 videos on there. I think I've covered quite a bit of stuff, but I get most of the questions from my video comments on those videos, and I'm always looking for new topics and new questions, so feel free to throw me some of those. If you want to throw me suggestions for games to play on my gaming channel, I'll take those as well. If it would get you over there to subscribe, I'm definitely interested in trying it out. So far, we have a couple subscribers over there. I haven't really been hitting it too hard, but I do pop over there, try to play a little bit, or at least post a video every day. However, this is obviously my main channel, and I work spending most of my time dedicated to 3D printing and things like that. The reason I chose gaming as my second channel when I have ideas for several different channels is because it's going to be really easy for me to incorporate gaming and 3D printing together, and I think get a crossover crowd that will be willing to go back and forth and check out my 3D printing projects as well as watch the gaming sessions as well. So we'll see what happens. That is the hope, but you never really know. My wife's sending didgeridoo jokes to my cell phone, so if I start giggling for no reason, just don't ask. Everybody that's on, come on, jump in the live chat. Some of you haven't noticed, but if you chat, you will show up on screen, so if you want to be involved in a YouTube video, feel free to say whatever. Just updated this chat widget, so really anxious to play with it. Really enjoying it so far. Like seeing stuff pop up. Yeah. Technivorous says whatever. What printers does everybody else run? What do you got? Are you looking at getting a resin printer? You have an FDM printer? Are you trying to decide between FDM or resin? What are your constraints? Is it a price thing? Is it a cleanliness thing? I can say the resin printers are a little bit more of a mess, and you do need the special gloves. These are nitrile gloves, and if you get just regular vinyl or something like that, they will melt with a chemical reaction with the resin plastic, so they don't work really well. And the nitrile ones are a little bit expensive, but conveniently, if you have kids like me and you have to take them to the hospital a lot, when the doctor steps out of the room, there's like 4 boxes right there. No, I'm not advocating that you steal them, but it can be quite a messy process, and it is a whole nother beast once you have a cure and wash machine. I do have the Creality UW rinse and wash machine. I can put a print in there in a tub full of alcohol and it'll agitate it, and then it'll also cure my print. And that saves me a lot of cleanup time and wasted stuff and stuff like that. So it is a little bit more of a process, but you do get a much better model. Now, if you're looking at printing really large models, this is not necessarily the printer for you. I can say it is larger, as we discussed earlier, than the LD002R and the LD002H in both X and Y dimensions by quite a bit. It is slightly shorter in the Z by 5 millimeters, but that's not too much, and you kind of make up for that with orientation with that extra 20 millimeters in each of the other directions. So really worth checking out this printer. I have the other 2 resin printers. The only one I don't have at the moment from Creality is the Halot Sky. And with the price tag, I wasn't too stoked on grabbing it, but after using this one, I think I'm going to check it out. So we can look forward to that being on the channel in the future as well. And yeah, just basically hanging out, guys. We're going to watch this print finish up. If you have any questions, chime in on the chat, and I'm more than happy to talk or discuss pretty much anything. We're just hanging out. So Alright guys, it looks like we're kind of petering out on the viewership at the moment. I do have some other things to do, so if nobody wants to chat and nobody has any questions, I think we're going to end the stream here. If you're interested in seeing the end print, stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do have a review coming for this, which will display in full HD detail the amazing prints I'm getting off of this machine. So this picture you're seeing doesn't really do it justice, and if you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's going to be it, guys. Technivorous out, and we will see you in the next